Hello everybody, my name is Liz Christy and I'm a textile designer and hand weaver based in Swallow Studios in Aniala. Aniala is in the heart of County Monaghan in the northeast of Ireland, which is part of the Drumlin Belt left by the last ice age. It was a natural progression for me to go into textile design. As a child I remember sitting on the floor underneath the table of my neighbour who was a dressmaker, and I would look at the colours in the fabric and pull the threads apart. I also remember going to gather blackberries with my mother, and when we went to the weighmaster to deliver the blackberries, I asked him what was the blackberries used for, and he told me jam and dye. So I had to ask him then what was dye, and I had to know the whole ins and outs of it. And that was my first understanding of changing wool from the colour that it was on the sheep to another colour, and I was hooked. So my design process involves finding my inspiration, and when I set out and set up my studio, I bought my first box of yarn. I sat on the floor with my Claude Monet books. I'd always liked Monet's paintings, and this is where I found the inspiration for my first range of hand-woven scarves. On the swing tags when I delivered them to my customer, I wrote "inspired by Monet's painting" and named the painting as "Water Lilies" or Japanese, and she really liked that. And so did her customers. So that's how it became part of my signature to be inspired by Monet's paintings. Hence, wearable art, inspired by art. So I've always been interested in art and heritage, colour and texture, and the natural landscape around where I live. All these elements converge when I design. At the outset of my career in 1986, I made the decision to produce by human energy, that is, hand weaving. I knew this would have an impact on my production and on labour costs. But 30 years later, I'm glad that I stuck to the principles of slow production. In fact, I suppose I was an advocate of slow fashion before it became a buzzword. So at the outset of the business, I did everything myself, but eventually I needed help. So the team that I have around me today, I have handpicked them. So my team embraced my love of colour as I trained them to weave my designs. But they're not just my designs. Each scarf embodies the skill and commitment of all of my team as the threads pass through all of our hands many times in the making of a scarf. Mainly I sell through my website, lizchristy.com, but I also sell through the best craft shops in Ireland and also craft galleries. I genuinely care about the world we live in, and I believe that my scarves add a wee bit of colour to that world.